So these are the old holding cells that used to be at the colonial jails, but they were used up into the late 90s in some regions. Go and have a look. The Royal Parade. All right. G'day. Am I right to film in here?
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
How you going? Just one, please.
Mate, it's $20. Whereabouts you from?
I'm from 3196.
Yeah. Sound good, mate?
Beautiful. Oh, my friend made these.
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah, you did. How good are they?
This is pretty much exactly what I came over to have a look at.
Oh, really?
More than anything, yeah.
Oh, mate, that's so cool.
I run the Australian Bushrangers Facebook page.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, so
right.
I do a lot of this type of stuff.
Yeah, great.
I'm starting to branch out more now.
Yeah, great. Well, at the moment, our Christmas exhibition is about Ned Kelly movies.
Yes, I saw that.
So we've got Mick Jagger's suit of armour.
And you've got the Robberies exhibition.
Bank robbers, yeah.
Yeah, has that got the Malcolm car here?
Not the Malcolm car, but we've got the remote control car used in the bank scene.
Yeah.
And the ashtray that we used.
Oh, I can't wait. That's my favourite Australian film.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
So there was 3 cars made.
Yes.
One was destroyed when it went into Yarra.
Yeah, that's right.
The car that actually splits in 2 that has the motorbikes.
That's at National Film Sound. Yep.
The other one, which we can borrow, I just got nowhere to put it inside, is the owners still have it. So Nadia and
I know
the producers. Is it Dave? Yeah, Dave and Nadia.
Yes.
They have the one that's actually drivable.
They still got it.
They have, and the way that I'll show you photos. The way they've got it is they've cut the number plate. They've modified it so it looks like it's split in 2.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
that's great.
And it's still drivable too.
That's brilliant. I just watched a documentary about it the other day as well.
Yeah. So this was me with the car the other day. So you can see that's where it is in their driveway. It's still very much drivable, but you can see how they've modified it.
You've made my day. This is incredible.
And you can see how they've cut the number plate. So for continuity, they can go between the 2 cars.
Because remember they had the Ned Kelly in there?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been fascinated with Ned my whole life.
Yeah.
So when I saw Ned pop up in that film,
yeah,
how cool is that?
This ashtray, that's got a remote control car in it.
Yeah.
Down the bottom. This is the one, if you remember the scene where the pole comes up and the glove blows up and they push the button to actually go inside. So turn the lift on.
Well, Don Bridges, I'm a good friend of him, and he played the postman in the film where he puts the letter.
Yes.
Yeah, and it goes off. And he told me about another film, Ricky and
Pete?
Yes. And he said it's like a follow-up to that film, like to Malcolm, with all the awesome gadgets and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's hard to find here in Australia, but yeah, I'm looking
for it. Yeah. Well, I was talking to when I caught up with them the other week. They were talking about possibly doing a sequel to The Big Steal.
Oh my God, that is that's another one of my favourite Australian
Ben
films.
Mendelsohn, Claudia Carver, and Steve Jager have all said yes, we will do it if you write the script. So they're like, because they're both in their late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And they're like, do we not? But the cast.
What's the name of the cast? Cedric.
Yeah.
That's all. I love that film. I saw Steve Bisley walking past National Gallery Victoria when I worked there once.
Oh, yeah.
As he's walking past, I've looked up and gone, oh my God, there goes Joe Byrne.
Yeah.
Because he played Joe Byrne in The Last Outlaw. And he just stopped dead in his tracks, turned and just got the biggest grin on his face, gave me a wink and then just kept on walking. Yeah, he's awesome. He is absolutely awesome. How incredible are these though?
They're amazing.
Yeah, so he's designed them off the death masks.
Yes. So Mad Dog you're looking at there, this is Mad Dog's original 1865 death mask. And so I got Cole to come and actually do a cast of that, so he was perfect.
Oh, wow. Gun found at the location of Joe Byrne house.
Hey, how you going?
Oh, wow.
Good.
That's probably...
Just wanted to have a look.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Where
thank you.
you guys from?
Tamworth, New
Oh.
South Wales.
Bit of drive.
Yeah.
I filmed a bit of a movie, short film up in Tamworth.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Called Ashton's, and it was about the James Ashton when he was setting up his circus.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, mate. Now, a little bit about us. So we opened in 1853. We were the third jail in Victoria to open during the gold rush of a set of 12. And we operated as a maximum security jail up until 1991. So when you go inside the building, it hasn't changed. There's no glass in the cell windows. It gets hot, cold, and really wet. And you had a bucket for a toilet until the day it closed. It's the last of the Victorian jails to have proper sewage. Now, it's 3 levels, so wherever there's an open door and staircase, have a look and you can find 101 cells, and we can fit 160 people in the building. So men, women, and children are all in here.
Wow. Okay.
Have a bit of read about that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you.
So just that way. The narrow hallway to the right takes the non-contacts. That's where you sit with the telephone, and then just come back to the cell block.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Georgina's books here. As
So when you
well.
go to the jail, have a look at our gibbet we've just had made.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
You need someone to hang up on it or what?
Yeah, no. So we've got William. I think it's William Mooney.
Yeah.
There's actually a photo of him in the gibbet
Oh,
up
wow.
in Golden. So we had it recreated by one of Cole's mates to match
Yeah.
the photo. So when you look at it, it's actually his size. So the skull's perfect and his actual bones, skeleton's the
Oh,
same
that's
size.
incredible.
Yeah. Awesome, mate.
Good
Good
seeing you.
Yeah, you
Steve.
Rob. Enjoy.
Last time I was here, Rob, the Rotary Club was in charge.
Oh, mate.
You guys have done an incredible job.
Yeah, so I've had it now for 7 years.
Did Paul let you know that I've got stuff if you ever need to loan for an exhibition?
Yeah, he did mention
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So once I've done for a wander around, I'll give you my number.
Thanks, mate. For doing it.
Awesome. There were lots of early crime in colonial Victoria because Victoria wasn't a part of, well, Victoria was still part of New South Wales up until 1951. So before then, there were many, police stations were far and few between. Geelong Gaol. Sundial made in Bendigo Jail. So this area of the jail would have been the intake, so prisoners coming straight through. And that, I'm guessing, be taken through there into the main cell block. I just want to have a quick look at prison hulks. I've got it quite a bit of memorabilia. There's my mate Harry Bell. Recreation of the cells in the prison hulks. And there's a list of all the different prison hulks where they were situated around Australia. So a prison hulk was a floating prison when the jails were overcrowded. The governments would acquire abandoned ships and convert them into floating prisons. It's really great to see a display of all of this. Not a very big cell at all. To give you a bit of an idea. There you go, you can walk through and have a look at. Bathrooms. Some of the other colonial jails in Victoria. There's some incredible historical pieces in this collection. Not easy to get like that. Cat o' nine tails would usually be dipped in salt water. This is a prison blanket from the 1986 escape at Geelong Gaol. Beechworth. Castle Man. Colonial Police straitjacket. Another couple colonial jails. Ballarat's where Captain Moonlight escaped from. Maryborough jail. The police stone wall capping from Maryborough. Saga behind the armour tells the story of Ned Kelly going through the metal boards on the wall. Everyone depicted on the wall are Geelong people involved in the story. The background of the wallpaper in this room is an image of the Anne Jones Hotel at Glenrowan the morning after the infamous siege, with the police standing out the front. That's the jail door. Let's go have a look at the exhibition. Replica Death Mask. The original was created by Maximilian Mayer on the 11th of November 1880 and placed on display in the Melbourne Waxworks Chamber of Horrors. Prison Gate. So these armours were made by the old Glenrowan blacksmith Gary Nichols. Like Gary Nichols, no longer with us, but he's the one who owned the blacksmith shop that's just opposite the Glenrowan train station. Few information boards highlighting different aspects of the Ned Kelly story. Incredible detail. But tell it's a later cast because see the ears are joined up at the back. But still, it doesn't matter the details in the face. And that's a very nice cast. You can actually see the bumps in his head from when he was belted by Constable Hall with the butt of his revolver. A big scar. Go on. Castlemaine Jail. So I just recently learned Dan Morgan, the Bushranger, spent time in there as well. Are you the guys from Tamworth?
Yeah.
Do you know you got some bushranger history in your town? I'm not filming you, sorry.
Oh no, that's
So
all
the
right.
bushranger Ben Hall, his son Henry is actually, he passed away and is buried in the Tamworth Cemetery.
Really?
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
I know that because I was in the Australian film The Legend of Ben Hall.
Oh, were
And
ya?
young Henry is a little boy in that film. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
There you go.
So,
That's good to know.
yeah, next time
Yes,
you-
I didn't know
when
that.
you're at home, do a bit of research and you'll see, yeah, you've got some Ben Hall history
Yeah,
up in your own
that's awesome.
area.
Thank
So
you.
it's on the way up towards Armidale. No, you got
No, that's Captain Thunderbolt.
Yeah, Thunderbolt's
Yeah.
rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool spot as well. So,
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
no worries, guys. Enjoy your visit. Oh, wow. They've done a really fantastic job with this place. So Buckley's chance escape. Buckley was the convict who escaped the 1802 settlement down at Sorrento. And he walked around Port Phillip Bay to this area and lived with the natives for 32 years until Melbourne was found and discovered in 1832. There's just some different artifacts. Ticket of leave. So this is what the convicts would be issued after they'd served their time. and they'd have to carry that around on them all times to show that they'd served their sentence. British cannonball found at Western Port, Victoria. Convict shoes from Tasmania. Bootmaker convict coins. I've got a couple of them in my collection. Oh, it's really, it says this room was once a staircase used by prisoners on the lower level of the jail to enter the chapel church above. Oh. There's just a bit of it left now. Originally, church played a major role in the early prison system, which in the beginning was operated by the Church of England. Church of England is also the church of which Captain Moonlight was a lay preacher. Today, all religious denominations are catered for. The lower part of stone staircase was removed in the 1870s when the chapel was remodelled for the industrial school girls who were housed at the jail. Door with the iron gate, originally led into the female prison yard. Some information about the different lockups. They're the portable ones, just like we saw out the front. But this, wow! Have a look at this. Or convict suits. Port Phillip Prison. These were called magpie suits because of the double colour. There's another magpie suit. And coming through here, this is the other side of that iron gate. Some people on a tour through there. I think I'm stuck in here. Help! Oh, visiting? Look at that. I didn't notice that just before. Visitation. Bet you a few swear words have been said in there over the time. Some information about the uniform symbols. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Convict uniforms. Alright, let's make our way through here now. Victorian Penal Establishment. So, as I was saying, before Victoria was separated from New South Wales, this is pretty much what the prison system used to look like. Or even before this, they just had police stations far and few between with some of those lockups. Sale and Bendigo jails. I snuck into that jail once. Sale jail, haven't been there. John Waychurch. Oh, have I got a story for him? John Waychurch actually still exists. So he's a part of the Melbourne University Harry Brooks Allen Museum of Anatomy and Pathology, where he's submerged in formaldehyde with half of his torso exposed. I'm sure it was John Waychurch I saw, but yeah, there's something there. Tullamarine, home to Melbourne International Airport, is named after a young Indigenous Australian freedom fighter, Tullamarina, who, in an act of defiance, burned down Melbourne's first jail in 1838. And I recently read that that jail was on Collins Street before it was moved up to Russell Street, where the first cell block existed. Prison mugshots. Pointing. Some more cell doors. The Curse of Ned Kelly. What does it say here? The Curse of Ned Kelly refers to the interaction with Judge Sir Redmond Barry at the end of the Kelly trial in Melbourne on the 29th of October 1880 for the murder of Constable Lonergan. Much has been made of Ned Kelly's poor education throughout the trial. However, in the last part of the court case, Kelly spoke openly and well. He took the blame on himself, and after being sentenced to death, Kelly then began a dialogue with Sir Redmond Barry. He even corrected the judge on a point of law when he was accused of being a horse thief. Judge Barry finished by stating, "You'll be taken from here to the place from whence you came, and thence on a day appointed by the Executive Council to a place of execution, and there you'll be hanged by the neck until you be dead. May the Lord have mercy on your soul." Kelly responded by saying, "I will go a little further than that and say, I will see you there where I go." His committal trial for the murder. These jail doors are actually from Beechworth. Alright, let's get in and have a look. Fancy seeing you here, mate.
Taken. It's the last place I expect to see you in jail.
Yeah. Just doing a bit of filming for YouTube. Yeah. Thought it's time to start branching out.
Good little exhibition.
It's fantastic. Don't worry, I won't put you on camera, but it's bloody great to see you here, mate.
Yeah, I'm having a bad beard day. No, it's...
Even just seeing the stuff about the prison hulks.
Yes.
Like, last time I came here, the Rotary Club of Geelong was in charge, and there was next to nothing to have a look.
Yeah, it gives you a better perspective and sort of getting close to the movie side of it as well.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's good to be back here.
And it's a nice day to be inside too.
Yeah. Good to see you. I'll let you have a look. We'll come back to that Ned Kelly exhibition and we'll go and have a look at the rest of the jail. In the meantime, they got a brief history of crime-themed films, Australian film industry, shower block. So this steel sheeting cladding covers the original brick. G'day guys, thanks for tuning in. Oh wow, look, Malcolm. So Malcolm's an 86 Australian film written by David Parker and Nadia Tass and directed by Nadia Tass. It's a quirky Australian film centred on Malcolm, a young man with autism who is a mechanical genius. At the start of the story, Malcolm works for Melbourne Metropolitan Transit Authority, the Met, or Melbourne Trams, where his obsession with trams and inventive mind leads him to build a miniature tram using work materials. When his boss Bud Tingwell discovers Malcolm's homemade tram on the tracks, he is fired with no income after his mother's death. Malcolm takes on Frank John Hargraves, late John Hargraves, an Australian actor who was absolutely phenomenal at his art. A recently released petty criminal and Frank's brassy girlfriend Jude, Lindy Davies, another brilliant Australian actor. Despite their differences, the three develop an unlikely relationship. Malcolm's inventive genius soon becomes pivotal when he learns of Frank and Jude's plan to commit a bank robbery. So let me flick this. So a quick synopsis. After his mum passes away, Malcolm, I'll spin around. Malcolm, played by Colin Friels, he needs money to live, so he rents out his mum's bedroom to Frank and Lindy, and he soon learns that Frank is a bank robber, and he's quite interested in what Frank is getting himself up to. So Malcolm, being the inventive mind that he is, he designs a little car that splits in half and rides like motorbikes. So in the film, Malcolm and Frank, John Hargraves, they actually rob a bank with a remote control car. Wow. Here it is. That's the one he sends down to the shop to get milk, but he also converted it to have a gun on it, and they rob the armed guards at the bank, and then they get away, and then there it is. He makes this one, and they go into the bank and get all the cash, but it gets stuck in a gutter, and then they plan the big heist using the remote control ashtrays. An absolute classic Australian film. That's a French poster for the film. Australia's first bank robbery occurred on September 14th, 1828 in Sydney, when the Bank of Australia's strong room was breached by thieves. They entered through a sewer drain which was connected to the basement of the bank and stole approximately £14,000 in notes and coins, equivalent to over 20 million in 2025. And we'll have a look in some mark. Uncle Chop Chop, Chopper and the Blue Flames. Also did a rap song called Machete. Mark Brandon Reid was a Melbourne underworld identity who was affectionately known as Chopper. Either love him or hate him, Chopper became a pop culture icon during the 2000s, which cemented his place in history with other Victorian criminals. Figures such as Ned Kelly and Squizzy Taylor by capturing the community's imagination through TV, film, art and music. Born on 17th of November 1954, Mark grew up in Melbourne suburbs of Collingwood and Fitzroy, where he spent most of his childhood in government institutions. Reid became an accomplished street fighter and the leader of the Surrey Road Gang, a hardened street gang with a notorious reputation for violence. He began his criminal career by robbing drug dealers based in massage parlours in the Prahran area, graduated to kidnapping and torturing members of the criminal underworld. often using a blowtorch or bowl cutters to remove the toes of his victims as an incentive for them to produce enough money so that Reed would leave them alive. I think that's a bit of bullshit. Reed spent only 13 months outside prison between the ages of 20 and 38, having been convicted of crimes including armed robbery, firearm offences, assault, arson, impersonating a police officer, and kidnapping. While in Pentridge Prison's H Division in the late 70s, Reed launched a prison war between gangs, his gang dubbed the Overcoat Gang, because they wore long overcoats all year round to conceal their weapons, were involved in several hundred acts of violence against a large opposing gang during this period. In 83 and 84, Mark spent 2 stints of 10 months each at Geelong Gaol in cell 101, claiming that this was the one Victorian jail he did not want to come back to. In April 2012, Reed was diagnosed with liver cancer and underwent surgery in July 2012 to remove tumours from his liver. He actually said that he didn't want to have a, didn't want to have surgery and to let, some little kid have that liver. So he wasn't a bad bloke. Where were we? In April 2012, diagnosed with liver cancer and underwent surgery in July 2012 to remove tumours from his liver. In late September 2013, he was admitted to hospital and passed away at age 58. Many believe Mark's nickname Chopper refers to having a fellow inmate cut both of his ears off in H Division. Instead, it was given to him because of his love of the Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters, Chopper the Bulldog, who protects Yacky Doodle from Fibber Fox. There's one of Chopper's many photos. I like some of these old jails as well because sometimes you see graffiti written on the back of the doors. Percy Ramage, sorry. Okay. So this rectangle, when the door would close, would lock into that latch. Now if you follow that up, it's connected to this. The Kelly reward poster. Bit of information about the robberies on the banks at Euroa. Artwork by Brendan Abbott. Postcard Bandit. That's beautiful. Almost looks like a photo. Look at the detail in that. I'll zoom in so you can see. Look at the detail in this. For those who don't know, I just received a credit in the Postcard Bandit documentary that's currently on Binge and Voxtel. This artwork was created by Brendan Abbott, known as a Postcard Bandit, while serving time in Queensland's maximum security Woodford Correctional Centre. There's a bit more information about him over here as well. So this signboard says, Brendan James Abbott, nicknamed the Postcard Bandit, became one of Australia's most notorious criminals in the 80s and 90s. Known for his meticulous planning and calm demeanour, Abbott established himself as a professional bank robber, believed responsible for 40 to 50 robberies across Western Australia, South Australia and Queensland's Gold Coast, stealing millions. His daring escapes from Fremantle Prison in 1989 and Sir David Longland Correctional Centre in 1997 cemented his legend. Police claimed he mocked them by sending postcards while on the run, though most were simply personal photographs, fueling sensational headlines. Media fascination inspired books and films, shaping his image as a master criminal. Captured in Darwin in 1998, after years on the run, Abbott is up for parole in 2026, which I believe was denied, and he is now due to be released in 2030. Look at the detail on that. That's a nice surprise. Wasn't expecting to see an artwork by one of Australia's most famous, Australia's greatest bank robber, let's be honest. Nice to see him with the Kelly reward poster. Here's a bit more information about the Postcard Bandit. So Brendan Abbott, famously known as Postcard Bandit, is one of Australia's most daring bank robbers. After escaping jail twice. They were just talking about how Tom Long played Brendan in the film. An old prison bed. Metal, doesn't look too comfy. Eureka Chinese murderer, are you? Arrived in Victoria at the age of 81 with dreams of making his fortune like everyone else. In 84, he first came to attention of the law when he was charged with being a rogue and a vagabond for offering to sell unmanufactured gold containing copper and lead to the Bank of Victoria in Malden. And for that crime, he was sentenced to 12 months in Castlemaine Jail. Well-used pinboard. John Killick. Decimal currency bandit. Cell 31. Look what we've got in here. Adam Cullen, painting mentor to Mark Chopper Reid. Adam Cullen was an Australian-born artist who won the 2000 Archibald Prize with his portrait of actor David Wenham. Cullen explained his choice of painting a convicted criminal was to highlight Australia's long history of art representing the dark side in culture, most famously Sidney Nolan's series of Ned Kelly. And this artwork is titled Judge Martin. On the 26th of January 78, Chopper entered the Melbourne County Court and attempted to take Judge Bill Martin hostage with a shotgun to obtain the release of his then friend Jimmy Luffman from the Ararat prison. Reid received 13 years for the attempted kidnapping of the judge and was sentenced to Pentridge's notorious H Division. Knowing he had a hit placed on his life from the Painters and Dockers Union, Reed persuaded a fellow inmate Kevin Taylor to cut off his ears so he could be moved to prison hospital for safety. From the stories I heard from Grandad, who was a Pentridge officer for a number of years, Jobber wasn't the only one who was cutting his ears off to get out of jail in order to see the pretty nurses at the local hospital. So we've got some more Mark Reed artworks. Some Ned Kelly references. Sydney Harbour Bridge. Some information about the industrial saw. I'll walk around the back here. It'd be scary if an eye poking out, so two faces. I'll try not to head into the cells because I can see that it tends to drop out. Don't forget to like this video and share it, guys. Your support's greatly appreciated. Mark Brandon, Chopper Reed. So some information about Peter and Doug Morgan. I think it's Doug who does the artworks with the Pentridge bluestone. Ronald Wright and Peter Walker. Funeral program for Peter Walker. A model of the Sydney Harbour Bridge made in Pentridge by Ronald Ryan, the last person to be executed in Victoria. It's made completely out of matchsticks. Scales of Justice, the bank scales from Mount Egerton. These scales came from the London Chartered Bank of Australia at Mount Egerton. In '69, the branch was robbed by bushranger Captain Moonlight. And scales from the Egerton Bank. Preacher turned outlaw, Captain Moonlight. We saw his head at the start of the, or when we came in. Eastwood cell. Some information about Ned Kelly. The radio room. All right. There's screen-worn armour from the 2019 film True Story of the Kelly Gang, directed by Justin Kurzel. Not so true history. It's nice to see the signboard just informing the people who visit that it is a fictionalised account of the story. They're completely just distasteful and unnecessary. Some nice police uniforms. The screen used police uniform from the film. Black and silver cape, Kelly gang style from the film. Some scenes. Not historically accurate whatsoever. There's a film script. Look at Infinity. Over here we've got some stuff from Ben Head's Stringy Bark film. I believe Ben Head's a local boy as well. And the film is available to watch on YouTube for free. There's a film poster as well. And Ned Kelly on television. Some more information. And there's an armour from the Mick Jagger, Tony Richardson film from 1970. If that's the armour from Braidwood, I've worn that helmet. There's the boys. It's on a bit of an angle, so let's fix that. There we go. Just some scenes from the film. Screen use police helmets. Original police uniform was worn on screen by Kerry Barrymore in the role of Constable Alexander Fitzpatrick in the 2003 film Ned Kelly, which starred Heath Ledger in the lead role. Screen used gun police holster as well. Bit hard to see. Superintendent's hat, which would have been worn by Geoffrey Rush in his role as superintendent here. And that film was actually based on Robert Hughes' novel Our Sunshine, to which the Australian musician Paul Kelly wrote a song of the same title. Old mate Heath Ledger really looked the part of Ned as well. He did. He was a good casting. Some scenes from the film. Pull a train lantern. A screen used superintendent jacket, which I'd say was worn by Geoffrey Rush as well. It's a bit hard to see. Sorry for the reflections, guys. It's a replica wanted poster, and we know these ones are replicas because that image of Ned was taken the day before he was executed, and that's an old prison photo from when he was released from jail. Ned Kelly toy gun. A few of you got that in your collection, I'm sure. Souvenir Reckless Kelly cup. And just a few books related to Kelly films. Got some stuff from the last Outlaw too. Brilliant. So Last Outlaw featured John Jarratt in the lead role. And Ned Kelly. And it was filmed in 1980, TV series from 1980. The most historically accurate TV series to date. Although there is a few historical mistakes through the film, but all in all, it's pretty Kate Kelly's dress, so worn by Sigrid Thornton. This is Kelly's dress, Elaine Cusack. I forgot who played Grace Kelly, sorry. Karen Fairfax, that's right. The Last Outlaw. Ned Kelly's trial broadcast on TV, featuring John Waters as Ned Kelly in the lead role. Very hard to find this. It hasn't been released by the ABC. But if we come back over here, this book is pretty much the script from the TV show. Got a prison shirt from the trial of Ned Kelly, so worn by John Waters. And a couple of TV plays about Ned Kelly too. And When the Kellys Rode. Oh, really good to see some first Ned Kelly film with sound. And if you have a look carefully, this is the first film that was lifted after the Bushranger, or the ban on Bushranger films was lifted, and that started from like the 1910s all the way up until the 1930s. And completely destroyed Australia's very popular film industry. (1920) Kelly film posters, some scenes. There we go. With Laugh. Yahoo series. I'm actually a fan of that film. I thought it was fantastic as a kid seeing that. Oh. Carlton's premiership captain, Bob Chitty, once portrayed Ned Kelly in a film called The Glenrowan Affair. And then over here, there is Bob Chitty, Carlton premiership poster. And then the theatrical film Ned Kelly, which was an absolute hoot. And the Hughes Gang. It's not a pony, it's a horse. actually a pretty funny film. Some information about the band Bushranger films. So all in all, I would say this is the first exhibition that really showcases and highlights Ned Kelly in film. So if anyone gets the opportunity, definitely come down and check out this exhibition, which I believe is on until April as well. I'll just do another quick walk past. Excellent. We'll go through and have a look at that in a minute. I just saw this. Look at the size of this trap. And it's a man trap. So when I was undertaking research on the Kelly's hideout in the Warby Ranges back in 2012, I uncovered one of their closest sympathisers was a man by the name of James Bryan, who owned an orange grove. And James Bryan was later found to have 12 man traps set up on his property, which was done in order to stop the police sneaking through his land to try and get into the Warbies and capture the Kelly gang. He was eventually fined, I believe, £20, and they were all confiscated off him. So I wonder if this one could potentially be one of James Bryan's man traps that he had set up in the Orange Grove to stop the Kelly gang, or stop the police from sneaking through and capturing the Kelly gang. Just to give you a bit of an idea, have a look on the side. This thing is huge. And just yeah, we'll go through and have a look in here now. You wouldn't want to get caught in here by yourself. Coming through. This is through to the kitchen. HM Jail Bendigo kitchen doors. These are. Information about prison kitchens, convict food and work employment. Wow. There's the freezer. Wouldn't want to get caught in there by yourself either. Another working area. So this is where all the dishes and everything were washed. Alright. So I'll make our way back through into the main cell block. I saw over here. Yes, there's some information about the 1906 Kelly film. But some jail gates from the laundry yard into the burial yard where executed convict Thomas Menard, Yankee Tom, is buried. Menard was hanged on the jail gallows on the 28th of October, 1865 for the murder of James Sweeney at Warrnambool. Some information about executions. And here's Thomas Menard's death mask. We've got Martha Needle's death mask over here as well. For cattle theft and violent crimes. Mask here as well. Gaming was once suspected of being Jack the Ripper. So there's plenty to see at the Geelong Gaol. If you get the opportunity to come down and check it out, I highly, highly recommend it. Yeah. William Mooney's skeleton, gibbeted at Gallows Hill, Bradley Street. So gibbets were used as an early form of punishment before prison. Prisoners would be locked up in these at the place of the crimes they committed, and either left to die or left there to be used or be punished by the local community. Some information about some of the police and car parks, and we've got coming of Arthur Henderson, New South Wales Police manhunt. So Ronald Ryan and Peter Walker's escape. Ryan walking through the tunnel to H Division, 19 days after escaping from Bentridge. So there's a couple of cells about Ronald Ryan here as well, which is good. I actually slept in the condemned cell at Bentridge, which is just outside the gallows. Solitary confinement. Sorry, video cut out. But as soon as I went in there, near the solitary confinement cells, my phone cut out. I don't think it's a reception because I'm fine here. Let's try again. So solitary confinement cells. Do a quick walk past. a little wander upstairs now. You can see how worn the stairs are as well. This is bluestone as well, so you could imagine how many people have walked on these stairs for them to be so worn down. Look outside into the yard. Prison library. Oh wow. Some bricked up windows there as well. I'm guessing this must have been the chapel at one stage. It's a night recreation room. Chief Medical Officer. This is where executions took place. That's the hanging beam, which means right below me, the trapdoor. So I think it's a total of 9 executions took place here. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Geelong would be the scene of several executions. In total, Geelong saw 6 executions and 1 near miss. The first double execution took place at Gallows Flats, about 200 metres from the front gate, on a bright yellow gallows that stood as a warning against crime. The next 4 executions went behind the walls of the jail after the passing of the Act for the execution of criminals. So female prison from 1853 to 1900. So now we're above the solitary confinement cells. Going back up the other side. Archway. So the cells up here. Have a look at the cells up here have all got wooden floors, which, if it's similar to the Melbourne jail, means that it was for short-term prisoners. Look carefully. Bit of rope stuck to a pin. Let's get a quick look through here. This is an interesting cell. It's got a gate. There it is. Cell 101. Let's go have a quick look. So apparently this is Chopper's cell. Chopper beer and wine, Chopper books. Chopper music. His live talks. It's quite a small cell too. So over this side, the cells have gotten smaller again. Timber floors too. And we'll go down the stairs in the middle. Have a look at that old exercise yard. Prison hospital. A few people spent time in here. Really high ceilings. Really high ceilings. Hospital bed. Fireplaces. Wow. This place is incredible. They have done a phenomenal job with this place. Yep, so that was the kitchen there. Australia has a really, really brutal history. Chains that were used around the necks of Aboriginal Australians. Absolutely barbaric and horrific. Should never have happened. This is Australia's history. Very, very dark and very, very sad. Jail surgery. Research cell. What is this? Capital punishment. Quick last recap. Fantastic Kelly exhibition on at the moment. So if you get the opportunity, definitely come down and check it out. Used to be able to go out into the old yards here, which have obviously been closed up. But there was cages in there for all the different criminals. So it's done this here, and I'm gonna go like that. Just say thanks to everyone for joining me on today's adventure through the Geelong Gaol, also known as the National Crime and Justice Museum down here in Geelong. Absolutely worth the effort to come down and check out everything that they've got on display, covering history from the prison hulks through colonial Victorian prisons, executions, Victorian prison system through the 1900s, and includes also the exhibition about Ned Kelly, bank robbers, Heist exhibition. There's information covering Ronald Ryan, the female section. Geelong Gaol's definitely becoming the place to go if you want to learn about Victoria's colonial history. So thanks again for joining me on today's adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye guys.